Nice one. Are we ready?
Not yet. Let's wait a little bit.
Okay. Or just signal to me when
One
I
more
should
second.
start. Dance music.
What do you feel? That's who you are.
Alade Yapo.
Oh, oh, audio, bad audio. Kai.
We're live now. Welcome to the book launch, and we have Barbara to lead us through the process. Yeah.
Okay, good day everyone, and welcome to the launch of the book Power Woman, written by Professor Joy Ada Onyesoh. My name is Barbara SANGARE, and I'm Joy's big sister. I was very happy, honored, and humbled when Joy asked me to MC this launch. Thank you so much, Joy. I've started reading Power Woman, and all I can say to you is there is something in it for each and every one of you present virtually today. I can also bet you all that once you read
The line is breaking.
each of you will recommend it to at least one woman so that she can create or recreate a life of her dream. It's excellent. On that note, I would like to take us through the program, which is just a 1-hour program. So we have to manage the time very well. Once I finish going through the program, ask our sister, Mrs. Alade Yinka Iyabo, to give a goodwill message. After that, there's a Ready to Soar song by Tessie, a young budding Nigerian musician. This will be followed by an introduction of the author of the book Power Woman by me. And then the author, Professor Joy Ada Onyesoh, will talk to you about Power Woman and the inspiration behind the book. This will be followed by another performance by Tessie, and then there will be a question and answer. You'll have an opportunity to pose questions to the author, Professor Onyesoh. But we can only take 3 questions because of the time constraints. And then, of course, I'll tell you a little bit about the goodies we have for you, so that you'll be able, some of you will be able to get the book, much faster than you expected. But that's later. This will be followed by a vote of thanks by a very, very special person in the life of Professor Onyesoh. She is my granddaughter. She is the love of Joy's life. She is her daughter, Adezi Onyesoh. She is special. And then after that, we will wrap up, and you people will now start rushing to buy the book. So on that note, I'd like to ask Mrs. Alade Yinka Iyabo to give a goodwill message. Is she ready? Is she ready? Because I haven't seen her.
The line is
She's ready.
I can't hear you well.
Very well.
She's having problems with, yeah. She says she can't well.
Oh my God.
But maybe she can just read the goodwill message.
Oh my God. Okay. The internet is okay.
If you can hear me, maybe you can hear your message.
Oh my God. I can't even. Okay, can I type my message?
Yes.
I can't hear you well. The line is breaking.
We can hear you very well.
Oh my God.
So go ahead.
I can't hear you well.
But go ahead because we can hear you.
Okay, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Good. Oh my God. Add me now.
Yinka, can you hear me? If you can hear me, then can you just read the message? Or maybe what we can do, whilst we're trying to fix her up, we can continue with the program and she can give the message later on.
No.
Does that work well? Okay.
Yes,
so
I think.
I can't hear you well. All right. Okay. Oh my God. Hi. This place.
Can engage her and to read the message because we can hear her, or we can slot her in, move Tessie forward, and then slot her in later on.
Yeah, I think we should do that. We should go ahead and then she can read it more.
Well, then let somebody send a message to her. Is Tess ready?
Oh,
is Tess
good? Yeah, I'm very ready, ma.
Please, can you text the message to me? Oh my God.
Tess, are you ready?
Yes, ma, I'm ready.
Tess, we're going to slot you in because Ying has problems coming on. He's having problems, so I'm going to.
I just keep trying. With your wings of faith and healing, no one can do better than you. You're ready. So sorry, I'm precious to get. I knew it. Take the time. You're my mind, imagination. I'm ready to start. In my paper, creating a legacy. Oh, 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 oh. I'm ready to start. Oh, 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 oh. I'm ready to start. I am ready to soar, soaring away from limitation. I am ready to soar, away. We created today, redesigning ourselves again. My heart is united, I know I let you go, I know I let you go. You're my wildest imagination. I'm ready to go. In my paper, creating a legacy. Oh, 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 oh. I'm ready to go. Oh, 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 I'm ready. I'm ready. You're the wildest imagination. I'm ready. Giving my back, creating a legacy. Oh, 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 oh. I'm ready to fall. Oh, 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 I'm ready to fall. I'm ready, yes, I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready to fall. I'm ready, yes, I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready to fall. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh. Thank you very much, Tessie. That was Teresa Ochana Owoicho, popular known as Tessie Owi. She's a 22-year-old fast-growing female artist from Benue State, Otukpo local government. She's a musical artist managed by Star Show Records based in Abuja, and that was a very, very inspirational song that she's ready to soar. And like I said to Joy, in terms of bridging the generational gap, she's a power woman making. We've now come to, I think, the main event, and we're doing quite well for time. I have pleasure in introducing Joy Ada Onyesoh. Really, you can see her fidgeting. She's really anxious and ready to talk to all of you. And she will share her thoughts with you and help you understand. During one of our conversations, she described this book, Power Woman, as being special to her because it speaks life to women's voice and agency. Let me tell you a little bit about Joy. Just a little, because if I'm going to explain everything, I'm going to write a book. Joy, Professor Joy Ada Onyesoh is the international president of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, WILF, and is the country director of WILF Nigeria and CEO of Joy Onyesoh. Professor Onyesoh made history when she was elected as the WILF International President in 2018 in Accra, Ghana, becoming the youngest, first Black African to hold the office of International President of the 104-year-old, my God, that is old, 104-year-old, and the oldest international women's peace organization in the world, an achievement. Professor Onyesoh is an alumnus of the prestigious Golda Meir Mashav Carmel International Training Center in Israel and Women's Human Rights Institute, University of Toronto in Canada. She has several certificates in transformative leadership, women and peace building, and women empowerment, amongst others. She's a public speaker, as you will find out very soon, and international best-selling author. Joy is the convener of She Speaks and CEO of Power Woman Digital Magazine. She hosts a weekly online inspirational talk show, Friday Night Hangout. And she's a breakthrough and transformative leadership coach for passion-driven women who have a need to discover their purpose and thrive as a result of gaining clarity on ways of creating unlimited abundance. Joy is a passionate, self-motivated individual with excellent organization and interpersonal skills and drive to succeed. Her slogan, "Too focused to give up," drives her passion to make a difference in the lives of others. Her mission is to serve passionate women who are willing to unlock their potentials for growth, build confidence in the face of uncertainty, and are desirous to experience a life of unlimited abundance. Joy's purpose is to inspire greatness and to help people find their purpose and live impactful life. She creates opportunities for women and girls to find and own their voice. She's a Rotarian and a Paul Harris Fellow of Rotary International, and she has a large heart for service towards humanity. She's left out her personal life, but I will tell you, she is a wife, an excellent wife, a role model wife, a wonderful mother. She's a friend to her children. I am a Muslim. Joy is a Christian. She's my spiritual guru. You guys have to figure out how it works, but I know that with Joy, religion doesn't come into her relationships. Joy, wow these people. Talk to them.
Oh my goodness.
Joy Ada Onyesoh.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you very much, my big sis, my friend. She's an ally, she's a confidant, Madam Barbara. I call her Babs. She's my big sis. Thank you for honoring me with this, in hosting this book launch. I don't take it for granted at all. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate this. And to everyone, I want to say welcome once again. Thank you for making out time from your very busy schedule to join us in this virtual book launch. I deeply appreciate you, joining us, and I ask that you please stay with us till the end of the event. We're going to make it as interactive and as fun as you can imagine. And so this is the book that has brought us here today. That's the Power Woman book. You can see my backdrop. I'm so proud to introduce this book to you. This is my third solo book. I say third solo book because I've co-authored over 5 other books. And then this is my third solo book. It's also on Amazon right now. It's an Amazon bestseller. So I'm so excited to really introduce this book to you and also to tell you a little bit about what inspired me to write this book. It's coming, right on the heels of my second solo book, which is The Molding of the Master's Vessel, My Journey with Brittle Bone Disease. Now, during the course of writing that second solo book, a lot of things came up for me because I was just focused on writing about my personal experience nurturing a daughter living with brittle bone disease. But also, in the course of doing all of that, nurturing her, I had to find my voice, I had to find my identity, and I had to run with it. And my living intentionally started from the birth of my daughter. And so in this book, The Power Woman, I really described in different ways my personal journey, my journey of self-discovery. And I do know that as women, we're constantly in search of really who we are. We have various identities as moms, as wives. When my sis Barbara introduced me, one of the things she said towards the introduction is that I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and all that. Yes. I deliberately omitted it from my profile because that is what we know of ourselves all the time. So most times we introduce ourselves as women. We are introduced as wives, as mother, which is not bad in itself. But then it overshadows, oftentimes the agency that we have as women. And that is where the struggle begins. So for some of us who are married, and for those that are also not married, being a woman, you are stereotyped into certain roles and identities. And whether you like it or not, you internalize how you have been conceived or conceptualized, and you now start acting in certain ways. This also limits how you think about yourself. It limits your ambition. And then it plays out in different ways. I'm saying this because I've gone through that journey. I went through the journey of trying to find who I am, beyond being a wife, beyond being a mother, beyond being a sister. Who really is Joy Onyesoh? And it was a very difficult journey, I must say. One that was clogged with self-doubt, the feeling of not being enough, the feeling of course always asking myself, am I making sense? Do I have all it takes to to live out the dreams I have in me? And so this book, The Power Woman, is in recognition of the voice of women, the multiplicity of voices we have as women. It's also a recognition that we're not, just simply because we're women doesn't make all of us the same. We're very different as individuals, and we need to embrace that. We need to be comfortable with who we are. We don't need to be pressured by the society into living the kind of life they want us to live. Now, most often we're afraid to come out and be ourselves. And that is what Power Woman is talking about. Power Woman, the name, when you hear the name Power Woman, I've been asked several times, so who is a Power Woman? And I say that a Power Woman is any woman who has come to the understanding of who she is, who is ready to take that knowledge of who she is and impact in her world and impact everyone around her, knowing that she's not limited by anything. The only person that can limit you or stop you from being anything you so desire is you. And so the Power Woman book is a call to women to say, stop self-sabotaging. You're enough as you are. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. And so through the process of writing this deeply reflective process for me, and I allowed myself to be very vulnerable in this book. And so when you go through the book, you would really identify with most of what is written here. I see it as a tool. I see this book as a tool. It's a transformative tool for you to start that journey of reflection, that journey of transformation, that journey of taking inspired action, even if it's just one step. It's just encouraging you to keep taking daily, consistent actions. Now, this book is structured in two parts. The first part is chapters 1 to 3. Here I talk about forgiveness. I talk about the importance of, forgiving yourself as a person. It's difficult to forgive the next person if you haven't forgiven yourself. And so I see it as a gift, the gift you give to yourself. You don't need anyone to force you to do that. It's something that when you learn how to let go, then you start thriving. I also talked about the importance of understanding and balancing your emotions. And as women, most often we are being seen as very emotional beings. Now, I say here that emotions is a normal human feeling. So it's not just the exclusive reserve of women. Whether you're a man or you're a woman, you've been blessed with different emotions. Now, what you do with those emotions all together. And so in that chapter, I encourage women to rise up, understand their emotions, learn how to handle it in a positive way, and transform whatever negative feelings or negative situations into one of power. And then I also want to talk about feeling stuck, which is so relevant in this time we live in today. I know we're living in very uncertain times where there's so much struggle, uncertainties about what tomorrow will bring. For some of us in businesses, our businesses are taking a nosedive. You're struggling to find alternative ways of kickstarting your business, especially coming out from the lockdown. And so in that chapter, not only do I talk about it, concrete actionable tools that can get you started in the right direction. Now, the beauty of this is not a one size fits all. You adapt it to your uniqueness, to who really you are, and it suits your situation. So you just take what knowledge there is in that suits you and adapt it to your person and run with it. And so in chapter 2, in part 2, which is chapters 4 to chapter 8, we really go deep. In chapter 4, I really break down the acronym POWER. I talk about power, organizing, wealthy, empathetic, and resilient. So we look at the different aspects of wealth. We look at how you can transform your mindset to achieving your goals. And like I said, the beauty of this is in each of the chapter, you get strategies, you have principles, you have tools that you can actually start using. And it kicks you off in the right direction. So it's a must read for any woman out there. Now, this is one book you would keep coming back to. When you read this book, you'll come back to it again. To this morning, after my personal devotion time, I took this book and I was reading. And I was like, wow, I was also getting more insights reading this book. And that's how the book is. Even though I wrote the book, I still read. I'm like, wow, okay. And you get more knowledge. And especially it takes you on a very reflective journey. And so I would really encourage you. It's a book you can gift out to any woman or any young lady out there that is seeking to discover themselves. And even if you've discovered yourself, I talk a lot about effective time management. I give you planning strategies, how to plan effectively so that you can, you know, we have just 24 hours in a day. And sometimes we say, oh, I wish I have more time. This is just a wish. We have 24 hours in a day and it's constant. But what you can do is to prioritize and ensure that you use this time wisely. I also talk about how to set effective goals and also how to measure your progress in achieving your goals. So it's a very interesting, engaging book that you will find you just can't put it down when you take it up to read. I can assure you about that because it's really very interesting. And you know something about some of us as women is we underestimate ourselves. We don't, give ourselves that opportunity to be all that we've been called to be. And I can tell you, this book will challenge you to perform at your peak best. So it will draw you into unleashing those potential that is inside of you that you've been afraid to let go of because you're afraid people may judge you. People may say you're too brash or you're too outspoken and you're too ambitious. And so because of what people will say, you dim your light. So this book will enable you to know that, listen, you can shine your light as bright as you want to, and you feel comfortable about it. But at the same time, it would let you know that, there are ways of connecting with others. So part of being a transformative being is realizing that you're not independent. I always say this all the time. We're not created to be independent beings. We're created to interconnect. We're created to be interdependent. And so there's something of me that connects to something in you. And that is why our personal journey is really very interesting. It's also very important that we acknowledge it because that is what, first of all, grounds us as human beings. And now in this book, I talk about a power woman being okay with failures. You know how we're so scared of making mistakes and we think that to be successful, you don't make mistakes. Listen, show me any successful man or woman and I will show you someone who has failed several times. So in this book, I let you know that it's okay to fail, but what do you do with the failure? Do you learn lessons from it? Do you make it a building block for your success? And then I share some very personal experiences as well, some experiences of my journey as a mom, my journey as an entrepreneur, my journey as a leader, a leader because I have teams that work with me. And I just encourage you to just come out and be who you've been called to be. Don't limit yourself in any way. And that's what the Power Woman is all about. It's about your power, your agency, your voice. We've all been created with a voice, but it's for us to identify it and use it for impact. So one thing you would, go away with, is one of your major takeaways from this would be the consistent, nagging in you, asking you, okay, so what are you doing with your agency? What are you doing with you? Who are you impacting? What difference are you making? I can assure you that when you read this book, you just wouldn't want to live for you and you yourself. You want to touch other lives because in so doing you find fulfillment, you find satisfaction, and you're happy. Now, I know that the times are so difficult, and sometimes it's practically difficult to be positive. I know that. And so in this book, I make you understand that it's okay to be weak. We see it as something we see weakness as something that is not complimentary. But I tell you, it is okay. That's why you're human. You can't be strong all the time. And that's why you need a support system. So when you're weak, part of the characteristics of a power woman is to say, hey, I need help. I can't do this all alone. And so it is that strength And that courage of you to call out to say, listen, I need help. I need you to support me. That makes you part of the things that makes you a power woman. Realizing that you can't, most often they ask us, especially women, I don't see them asking men that. They ask you as a woman, how do you manage your home? How do you manage your work? How do you manage your business? And we're all trying to find a balance. And I make you realize in this book that, listen, balance may be, it may just be ideal, it's not what is real. But then we may need to start talking about harmony. How do we find a rhythm in all of what we do so that we find fulfillment in what we're doing and we don't get overwhelmed, we don't get distracted, and we feel satisfied. And it's also okay to take time out. Don't be a superwoman. So in being a power woman, we're making you understand that you're not a superwoman. There's a difference between a power woman and a superwoman. And so the book is telling you that, listen, make out time for yourself. You need to rejuvenate. You need to, re-energize. You need to make out time to reflect, to find yourself, to make yourself happy. Because you can't give what you don't have. If you're not happy, you cannot give happiness. And then it talks about your identity, understanding what your core identity is, and is left for you to translate what that means for you. And for me, I talk about my identity as a Christian, my identity as a daughter of God, my identity as, an unapologetic lover of God. For one, I'm not ashamed of. So there I talk about just finding your identity and flowing with it. Don't be pressurized into being who people want you to be. It comes with a whole lot of baggage. And then you learn how to say no without explaining to anyone why you're saying no. You know how you feel guilty. You know your plate is filled up, but you don't want to hurt the next person. And so people are just dumping things on your plate because they feel that you're a superwoman and you want to live up to that reputation of being a superwoman. And so you say yes to everything and you find yourself struggling. Sometimes you break down in the process and you feel ashamed. And I'm telling you, there's nothing to feel ashamed about. You are human, and that's why you're human. Recognizing that life happens in times and in seasons. And for you to understand the season that you find yourself in, so that you walk within that season and harvest all the goodies that are in that season. Sometimes you need to let go for you to experience the fullness of your potentials. When we get comfortable in a space, it's not just about women, it's about both men and women as humans. When we get comfortable in a space, we don't want something that is new. We don't want to go through the uncharted course because we are comfortable in our safe space. We don't want to leave that space. And, sometimes you need to leave that space for you to experience the newness that you've been called to be. And so it's you finding the strength and finding the support system to enable you to do this. I talk a lot about building synergy, collaboration, and not competition. And I say this a lot because we've been fed these narratives that women don't support women. And in this book, I debunk that narrative and say, hey, we're women and we support ourselves. I've rode on the backs of so many women, and I've allowed a lot of women to ride on my back as well. And so you stepping into that new narrative, creating the narrative you want and spreading that story, stepping into your light and just doing you, realizing that it's okay to make mistakes. Because for you to get to the fullness of your potential, you need to make mistakes. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes is normal. It's just normal to make mistakes. Don't let anyone tell you anything, anything else that because you make mistakes and you're not good enough. I also talk about the fact that people tend to project their inadequacies on others. So you need to know how to draw the boundary, how to teach people how to respect you, how to value you. And people can't respect you if you don't respect yourself. People can't value you if you don't value yourself. So you need to put a value on yourself. And you need to tell yourself those positive affirmations. And, it's just okay that sometimes your energy level will drop. It's fine. You can't be a superwoman. I keep saying this. You can't be a superwoman. So stop trying to be a superwoman. You can't be everything to everybody. When you're trying to please everybody, then you are just killing yourself. And so when you look at the name Power Woman, you might think, okay, it means superwoman. No, Power Woman is not a synonym for superwoman. It simply means that you recognize that you have potentials and possibilities, and that you know and you're willing to let go of some baggage that will drop you down, that will weigh you down. And you're also willing to build a tribe of like-minded women who would spur you on, who would cheer you on. When you're weak, you have hands to hold you up. And so just, finding solace and finding strength in sisterhood. That's really what Power Woman is all about. Your voice, your agency, the limited possibilities you have as a woman. And now, just before I wrap this up, I just want to share a very personal story with you. Most of times we feel very ashamed, I want to use that word, to share stories of failure, stories of mistakes, because we feel we'll be judged by those mistakes. But I want to tell you, listening to me or watching me, that I haven't always been this together. There was a time when I had very low self-confidence. I won't even be able to talk in public because I felt I had nothing of importance to say or that people would listen to me. And so I was restricting myself from doing a number of things. And then to cap it all, my business now crashed. It crashed so bad, so bad, that I lost everything. All I had left was my family, my hope, and my God. And you can imagine what that does to you. Now, going through all that process and then having a special needs daughter, I say it and I laugh now, I smile, but it hasn't always been this way. My daughter is 14, going to 15, and it hasn't always been like this. I was mocked. People made so many derogatory comments about myself and my daughter. In fact, there was this very particular incident, people you call your friends. So it's just for you to know that it is, when people mock and laugh at you, just disconnect yourself from that crowd and find yourself. Don't allow what they say. It can get to you because you're human, yes, but you need to come out of it. You need to give yourself the permission to come out of it. There was a particular time my daughter had a very bad fracture and I had to go to the hospital to get her in a cast. And when you put on the cast, there are certain restrictions in terms of when she had to, use the restroom and all of that. So, of course, you know how it is with the cast all over, especially if it's on the femur. The femur is very close to the genital areas and all of that. So you will have a little bit of, the wee-wee on it, a little bit of the poo-poo on it, and of course, it's going to stink. And then for someone I felt was a sister and a friend, and I thought I was going to the hospital to get the cast off, and she said, "Oh, I want to come with you. I want to help." I was like, "Okay, let's go." And we got to the hospital and had to use the restroom. So I asked her, "Please, would you carry my daughter for me?" She said, "Oh, no problem." And I left. In the course of using the restroom, I'm coming back. Another friend joined. And when I came in, you know how you would sense instinctively that something is not right. But I couldn't put my hands on it. I couldn't say this is what it is. But I knew there was something not right about it. I took my daughter, we got the cast off. And not too long, the story started coming in. "Oh, her daughter smells. The whole thing is irritating. Oh, she's being punished for something and that and that and that." So I don't know who is listening to me and you've heard such stories about yourself from family members, from friends. And I want to tell you that, listen, the best revenge you can have is to be the best version of yourself. You don't have to go responding to anyone. You don't have to go asking people anything. Sometimes we have this tendency. You hear something said about you. You want to prove them wrong. You want to ask this person, "Did you say? Did you not say?" Listen, you don't need that. The best revenge you can give anyone is just be the best version of yourself. Go right out and rule your world. That's the best revenge you can give anyone. And not only is it the best revenge, it's also a fulfillment for yourself. Find your path. Be who you've been called to be. Forget about the stories. Listen, if you want to go far, and that's what the Power Woman is all about, you need to shut your ears to a lot of stories. We live in a patriarchal world. And so when you're rising as a woman, perhaps you're not married and you're rising as a young lady, the stories will start coming in. She's a prostitute. She follows men. Oh, she can't do it by herself. She's too young. She's from a poor home. How did she break this barrier? Listen, shut your ears to all of those and step out into your light. Don't allow these distractors to take you off your track. You've been called to serve certain persons. Like I would always say, you can't serve everyone. Identify who you've been called to serve. Now, we all been created with a purpose. We all have a purpose for being in existence. Find your purpose and thrive in it. And it's a process. Honor those who have gone before you. I take this time out to say this because I'm proudly an African and proudly a Nigerian. Some of the issues we have is that we have thrown away honor, we have thrown away respect, especially for our young ones coming up. We need to honor our forebearers. We need to honor our trailblazers. It's important because they have carved out the pathway for us to tread on. So whether you don't like how they're doing or how they behave or how they talk, it's not for you to disrespect. You can set boundaries, but you need to honor your elders. So it's also important that when you are rising, you ensure that you're rising with other women as well. So I would ask you as a power woman, who are you carrying along as you're rising? When you rise and you rise alone, it's not as sweet as when you have a tribe of women rising with you. So if you think you don't have something to give, I want you to think again. Because when I talk about wealth in this book, Power Woman, I identify different kinds of wealth. Time as wealth, social capital as wealth, health as wealth. So there are different kinds of wealth that we do have. Who are you serving with the kind of wealth that you have? It's not all about finances. So just make it a duty to touch a life or two. You have something in you to gift to the next person. You're not empty. You're full of potentials. It's just left for you to give yourself the permission to do all that. And that's what Power Woman is all about. Fixing your crown and helping others to fix their crown as well. We can't be limited by barriers. We need to break through all those barriers. So I just also would encourage you to get this book. It's a must read. I encourage you to get this book. Details of how to get this book would come up very shortly. In the course of writing this book, I had so much creativity. There's so much in a name. Power Woman, it became so powerful for me. In the course of writing the book, I created the Power Woman magazine. In the case of writing this book, I had started a Friday night hangout. A whole lot of creativity came up just through writing this book. So sometimes you just need to get started in the right direction and your creative juice just starts flowing. And so that's what I would encourage you to do today. So grab the book. It's very interesting. It's 3,800 naira for a copy, and it's 2,500 naira for the soft copy. You can get it on my website, www.joyonyesoh.com/powerwoman. I also want to use this opportunity to thank my husband. He's been amazing. He's really created the opportunity for me to be all that I have been. And it's not easy. I keep saying it's not easy to be married to a woman who has so much hats. I wear a lot of hats and it requires me traveling a lot. And he's been so supportive. So I want to deeply appreciate him for all he has done. Even in the course of writing this book, he took out time to provide editing support for the book, provided recommendations, and that really enriched the book a whole lot. I also want to appreciate my kids, the amazing children. I've been blessed. I want to appreciate my friends. Barbara, I've appreciated you. You know what you mean to me. Choma Duru, Chinwe Amedu, Ebere Ifendu, Gozie Udemezwe, Chiuzo, Georgina Odiako. Thank you for the enormous support you've given to me throughout the years. I can't love you less. I also want to appreciate Shola Odeja. Thank you. You're such an invaluable part of my ministry. Your attention to details and all you do, the support, the advice. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate it. I also take out this time to appreciate my publisher, Dr. Nicole Long. Oh my goodness. She got this book to the bestseller. Her advice, her support. So thank you, Nicole. We made it bestseller on Amazon. Thank you so much for that support. And then I also want to appreciate my team. amazing team I have. Uche Carlos, Sarah, Oluchi, Adeze JBN, oh my goodness, Adeze Perpetua Madubuko, thank you so much. And my siblings, Ugochukwu Chinemeze, my parents, you're just so amazing. Behind every successful woman is a tribe of family, friends, sisters supporting and cheering her on. And mine is no exception. And to all of you who has kept faith with me on Facebook, on Instagram, you support, you encourage me. I just say thank you. You make me just want to be the best version of myself. So thank you all for all the support that you give to me. Day in, day out, the text, the calls. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you all. And so everyone, I just want to say thank you. In case I've forgotten to say, call your name, please. It's not deliberate. And my beautiful Tessie. Oh, Tessie, we thank you so much. She's the one that performed the Power Woman song. She gave life to the song, Ready to Sell. You saw her perform, and she's also going to do another performance. Thank you so much, Tessie, and your crew for all the support you bring on board. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I honor and celebrate you. I encourage you to get your copy of the Power Woman book. It's a beautiful tool. It's a beautiful read, and you can gift it to anyone. Thank you so much for attending this lunch, and let's just interact, have some fun, and make sure you get a copy of the book. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Joy. I mean, it's like you've given us extracts from the book and also a lot of food for thought. At least I have a lot of reflection to do, and the advantage of having access to you. So I'm going to share my thoughts, share my questions. But honestly, I mean, you've raised some very, very important points. Thank you so much. I'd like to call on Tessie. We're running a bit late, so I'd like to call on Tessie. She's going to do another song. It's on Power Woman. So, Tessie, on, please.
Take a look at you. What do you see? A shining light. That's who you are. No other creation has your grace and uniqueness. You are perfect and a blessing to the world. You can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be. Yes, it's big life, inspiration, to make a difference. It's acting change, transforming the world, transforming the world. You can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be. Oh, 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 oh. I am powerful. I make a difference. I am powerful. I am powerful. You make a difference. That can change. That's what we do. Thank you. Thank
Thank you so much, Tessie. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tessie. It's now time for questions. I don't know if there are any questions. I checked just now there weren't any questions. If there aren't any questions, maybe we can just go ahead to the giveaways. Can you hear me? Joy, can you hear me? Because I can't hear. It's like I'm muted.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. No, we can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. So what I'll do is, as far as I know, there aren't any questions. So I think we'll just go. We'll just go to the giveaways. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 prizes. The first one is, I'm going to give you some questions, but the first prize is a 30 days abundance challenge audio course. And for you to win that, the first person to type their name and telephone number on the chat gets a 30 days abundance challenge audio course. So let's see how let's see how fast you people are. Just type your name, telephone number, and we'll pick it up and award the prize to the first person who can do that. I'm hoping somebody has already done it. Your name and phone number, just type it, and the prize will be a 30 days abundance challenge audio course. The second one is, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question, and the person who gives me the right answer or is able to say something that is close to look for will get 1 month free subscription of the Power Woman online magazine. 1 month free subscription of the Power Woman online magazine. I don't know how much it, but I know you're going to get a freebie. Joy, how much does it cost? The 1 month subscription.
It costs 1,500.
Oh my God, you people are going to make a killing. Can you imagine it for free? Now, my question is, Joy talked about making mistakes. What did she say? What do you recall that she said around making mistakes? Joy talked about making mistakes when she was introducing the book and talking about what she has in the book. Can you tell me something she said around the subject of making mistakes? We all make mistakes. Tell me something she said about it, and you will get 1 month subscription of the Power Woman online magazine. That's the second giveaway. The third is, what is the name of Dr. Onyesoh's daughter? I said her name several times. What is her name? I told you she was given the vote of thanks. So if you were listening, you're going to get a free copy of the Power Woman ebook. So you're going to be able to start reading the Power Woman ebook like tonight or tomorrow, the latest. What is need? So where are we now? Are there any responses? Okay, we have Yemisi George. Yemisi George is the winner of the 30 Days Abundance Challenge audio course. Yemisi George, congratulations. I'm very happy for you. Okay, now the second prize. What did the author say about making mistakes? Just give me something, even if it's 1 or 2 words that she said about making mistakes. And the third is, what is the name of Professor Onyesoh's daughter? Are there any responses? In order for us, Yemisi, you've won the 30 Days Abundance Challenge. So in order for us to move ahead, I will just continue with announcements. There is the flash sale of the ebook. There's a 40% discount for 24 hours. It will be going, the book will be going for 1,500 naira. 1,500 naira is what the book will be going for 24 hours. That is, the flash sale is between today from 8 p.m. to tomorrow, the 11th of September at 7 p.m. So you can get your book for next to nothing, your ebook for next to nothing, if you buy between today at 8 p.m. and tomorrow, the 11th of September at 7 p.m. Okay. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the response to the other 2 questions. Yeah, there's nothing here for now. And we have just 2 minutes to wrap up. So maybe what I can do, I can ask your daughter, I'm not going to say her name. I can ask her to give the vote of thanks. And yeah, if what we can also do is, I mean, she can give the vote of thanks, we wrap up, we finish, but people can also send in responses to the 2 other questions later on. Is that okay? Is that okay, Joy? I'm having problems. I can't hear you. Sorry.
There's a winner. We have a winner.
So can she give the vote of thanks now?
Yeah, I think we have a winner. So you can as well
you.
call the winner and then
I'm having problems with the sound.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Hello.
Missy George got the questions on mistakes. Okay, that's good. Missy George got the question on mistakes. So we have 2 gone. It's just the last one, the name of your daughter. So can your daughter give the vote of thanks now?
Yes, she can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Joy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Can she give the vote of thanks then?
Yes, yes. Okay, I just. Oops. Okay. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of my mom and my family, I'm here to appreciate you for coming to join my mom in launching her book. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Barbara, did you hear her?
Hello?
Yes, she has finished giving the vote of thanks.
I can't hear.
Oh, she just gave the vote of thanks.
Let her go ahead.
She has given the vote of thanks. So maybe
Hi,
she
dear.
wants to say bye.
Is she finished?
Yes.
She's finished?
Yes.
Have you finished your vote of thanks?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just wrap up now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're having some challenges with the sound from my end, but that's not a problem. Like I said, please remember there's a flash sale, the ebook, 40% discount for 24 hours. That's from now, from today, 8 p.m. to tomorrow at 7 p.m. I want to thank you all. I mean, just to buttress what Ms. Onyesoh said, thank you all for being part of the launch. And I'd like to say, for me, it was exciting. Well done. And there's my baby. I think that's it. Thank you all so much for being a part of the launch and making it a reality. And we look forward to you buying the books online or the ebook, whatever you decide. And please feel free to get in touch with Joy to ask questions or give your contributions. They're invaluable.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all. I love you. Thank you for honoring me with your presence. Thank you so much. Exactly.